Keep left to continue
What's
on
going
US 1 North.
on, my people? It's your girl, Markia, aka God's Ink, and I am here with yet another video. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? How you doing? You know, let me not do that because I do not like Wendy Williams. I think she is ridiculous. So, but I do like, how you doing? Anywho, I am on my way to see my boo and pick up some food. We have an empanadas tonight. It's been a crazy week. Crazy got good for me, getting closer and closer to my retirement date. Hey, yes. But the last couple of weeks, I've been having these regressive type moments is what I'm going to call them, right? Where I've been feeling kind of angry and what was that? Just dropped something. Feeling kind of angry and sad, and it was just, you know, coming out of nowhere is what it felt like, and I couldn't really understand why I was feeling the way I felt, right? You know, you guys who follow me and y'all seen my story, my testimony, what I've gone through. Y'all, it's been almost a full 2 years. Yeah, November it will be 2 whole years since my ex-husband, he told me while I was in Iraq that he over text message at that he wanted a divorce, and then lo and behold I found out that it was another woman, and it just was bad, you know, who the woman is, and you know, supposed to be this minister, and you know, somebody who ministers to single mothers. I just, all of it I took really, really hard. It was really hard, right? And but life goes on. God is a good God. He taught me, took me through a process of pain and suffering. I learned a whole lot about myself and got to a place. I met someone else I'm dating, and he's amazing. I love him so much. And but I'm still having these pockets of anger and sadness, like all happening at the same time. And I realized that my heart is still healing. There's still some brokenness, because the breakup was devastating to me. And it wasn't just with him. I was hurt by the girl as well. And I've been dealing with, you know, trying to forgive them. And I'm like, you know, it's a decision. I'm making this decision, but I'm trying to get my feelings, my heart to catch up with the decision I made to forgive them jokers, right? But it's just taking some time, and it's okay, because it takes time. But I didn't realize that I still had, you know, some things going on, right? We don't talk or nothing like that. We only talk about our daughter. That's pretty much it. I don't particularly care for them. But I thought that, you know, for the most part, right, that was enough. But I started to realize here lately that it was more like I still really, really don't like, and I still like halfway want to beat the girl up, like really drag her like through mud and just like really beat her down. But then at the same time, I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for him. And so the other day, we had a conversation about our daughter, and it was some things that, you know, I didn't particularly, you know, he disclosed that I didn't particularly care for, but you know, it is what it is, right? And his response was he expected me to come down on him, I guess, and you know, whatever the case may be. But I just said, copy, you know, okay, whatever. And kept moving, and he still kind of, I threw in a little bit of some of my personality and emotions, because it did irritate me a little bit, but the way I would have normally responded, I didn't, right? So I passed the test. And the big thing about it, I wanted to, but I didn't, right? So normally I would have to throw my phone out the window, y'all, for me not to say something ugly. Or, the Lord would have to just make my phone die. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just could not pass up an opportunity to just lash out, to let them, know how much, how angry I was. And because they were, in my eyes, they were so deserving of the worst, right? Like, I was not secretly, but like a part of me was like, God, I just want them to fail in everything. I want them to see and reap what they've done to me, and I want them to feel that same pain. But then that was starting to change, and I had gotten to a place where I was like, whatever, God, I thank you. I thank you for, letting me see some truths that what I was really, really a part of in this relationship, in this marriage. And because what I realized is when you're heartbroken and you love the person, right? You are seeking any kind of validation to put back from them what they broke. But the truth of the matter is, they don't have that much power, right? And yeah, what they've done, the situation in itself is heartbreaking. But that's something that they have to deal with, right? They're going to have to give account of that when it comes to the Lord. And God actually puts you in a place to where God can be even closer to you. If that makes sense, right? And so, that's where I was. And things were starting to change. And I started to understand, because like I said, when you're heartbroken, you start thinking about, the plans we had. You told me the things that they said. You said this, and you said this was your job. Don't know things, that's my job. You always say this, and certain moments you'll just be like, oh, I'm giving you my whole self, like his whole body is a shake, and be like, I'm giving you all of me because I love you so much. And then I'm going through all of those things, and I'm just like, and then just like that, it can be taken away. And I was like, I don't understand it. I was so mad. I wanted answers, right? And then I wanted that answer to be logical and where it made sense. And he would say, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, you're not. You're stupid. You're not sorry. But he was, because ultimately he really don't know. And I never thought that could actually be, a real answer, that he don't know. He don't know why, he did the thing that he did, and he was in the place that he was, and the choice that he made. And I honestly, I don't believe that he really meant to. I don't believe that. I think he was feeling some kind of way, it slid out, and then the girl was in, that place, and she was broken too. So they both were just two broken people trying to get she feeling some kind of way because of, whatever. And so they latched on to each other. And now all of his things, his failures in his life, he's trying to just, pull a new slate on and try again. And she's trying to feel like the winner, and, that she's got value because, your husband chose me. And then I started thinking about those things, and I would get so angry, and I'm like, I'm going to beat them up. And then I realized, why am I so angry at that? I don't want the relationship anymore. I just want an understanding. And then I want to know, how you can do that to a person. That was my hang up. How could you do this to a human being and hurt them in a way, especially when you know their backstory, where they've been. I don't understand how humans can do this to other humans. And then I realized that they're broken. And because anybody that feels solace about your husband chose me, if you are excited and happy and feel good about yourself that you broke up a family, that you are the woman that this man left his wife and kids for while she was deployed in a country getting bombed. Like literally, she was in getting bombed, and you were talking and spending time and probably being intimate with her husband. If that makes you feel good and make you feel like a winner, you probably got some deeper problems, right? And it took me a minute to really put that into focus. And I was like, I started to think about that. I'm just like, ugh. She really must be in a low place. She really must be broken. I mean, like really broken to feel good about it and to be like, but this is how conversation. So why am I naming your mouth? Like, honey, you were cheating with my husband. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Who does that? Who's annoyed because the wife of the man that they've been sleeping with and cheating with is angry at them, and she feels some kind of way about it? Like, I shouldn't say, like, I shouldn't be in that place, and rather just don't say anything, for one, or two, just own it and be like, listen, I'm sorry. I wish that it didn't happen the way it did. I didn't mean, I don't know how we got here, but I'm sorry. And I understand that you're angry, and I'm a heart, something, even if you're going to continue to be, but that was, my mind was like, how you got an attitude like you coming for me and like you're the victim when you're the one who's with my husband while I was deployed, and you're the cause for his affection to be alienated from me and his family and turn to you. Because everything about what he wanted out of life and what he wanted to do and be a better man and husband has been he forfeited for you, and that makes you feel good. That put me in a bad headspace. When I tell you it put me in a bad headspace, it put me in a bad headspace, and I had to search through to find out, like, why am I saying? Because I don't want him. I don't want to reconcile. I'm actually grateful that it happened, because the man that I'm with now, although we're taking things very slow, whatever, he's great, and he is, we have fun, and he's honest, and I can really feel some truths by, our conversation, how he really feels about me, and I'm in a great place, and it's an honest place.
Your destination will be on the left.
And I feel loved. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm good, but why then am I still angry and I'm ready to fight? And why do I want to drag this heifer, like, through gravel and, like, get gravel, like, up in her nose and, like, and under her eye? Like, that's the place, y'all, this is crazy. The place that I want to beat her to is unheard of. But at the same time, I pray for her, and I be like, God, she gotta be broken. So y'all, I'm in a crazy headspace, right? So I was trying to deal with it, and I do research, and I was praying and stuff like that, and thinking about like behavioral health, and it's just a part of the process of grieving, right? And I had to realize that when we go through these processes, we start looking at certain things, and we contemplate on them. We start to say, oh, well, this is what it could have been, where we would have been, and we pick out all the great things, and we kind of skim over all the hard times and those red flags that we saw, right, that we turned away from because we love them so much. Well, now I have an opportunity to be honest and say, you know what we portrayed on social media was not really how it was. Like, it was hard being his wife. I didn't always feel loved. I didn't it wasn't this perfect thing, right? Like, I wasn't always just smitten. There were lots of good times and smitten times, but if I'm honest, there were a lot of times that I felt alone, and I felt unappreciated, and I felt belittled, and I had to walk on eggshells. And I started to be honest with myself about those things, and then I was like, you know what? maybe this isn't, it wasn't such a horrible thing. How it happened was horrible, but maybe it is truly for both he and I, for our good. And although I'm still angry, and I still, like, sometimes I want to comment to follow this guy, just hit him right in the top of his head, right? I don't want him to die, but I just want to have like a permanent black eye, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a selfie king, right? I'm kidding. No, I'm real serious. But I started to realize that maybe it was for the best for both of us, because maybe this time he'll learn some truths. Maybe this time there will be some things that he can look at himself, because I had to look at myself and find out who I was, and I saw a whole bunch of errors and wrongs, and hopefully he'll do the same and become a better man, a better father to his children. And then the same for this young lady. Maybe this will be what it takes for her to say, you know what, you don't have to be the selection to make yourself feel good about yourself. You don't have to tear down homes and families because someone chose someone else. Like, or maybe the one that God has for you, maybe he can't find you because you're so busy trying to make things happen on your own. And you, instead of walking and trusting in God and celebrating for those around you who are receiving the thing that you ask for, that you pray for, that love and family. Maybe if you set your foundations on walking truly upright with God, and the God sent man God has for you will come. Because I'm gonna be honest, it's not gonna be the one that you helped to tear down his marriage. How then can God bless that? How is that God? God didn't do that. God didn't allow adultery. Even if my husband and I were not meant to be, we were under a covenant. God is not going to give you my husband or me, or God is never going to give a man or a woman to someone else who, when they belong or when they're married to another person. It's just not going to happen. Now, can God bless it after repentance and move forward? Yes. But there's still going to be a harvest that has to be tended to. So I come on here to say this. I needed to get it out. And for those people who are going through breakup and heartache, and they've gone through the stages of grief and loss, right? And they're getting to this place, and they feel good, and all of a sudden they have these moments where they kind of feel some kind of way. It's okay. It's part of the process. And I want you to take a look at yourself and take a look at the situation. What did you really learn about it? Don't continue to dwell on, you know, the things that happen, and like, I can't believe that they would do that, and the why and the how, because in the end of the day, they probably really don't know, and they probably are sorry, but they still, you know, they may not be really expressing it in the way that you think they should, because they feel a certain kind of way, but they probably do feel bad, and they probably wish things were different, but they don't know how, they can't change it, and they want to save face. They still want to feel, they don't want to look like what, you know, the worst part of it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want the worst of it to be what they're seeing, like how people see them. And I get that, right? Because it's not the end of the world. So for you who are going through it, give them grace to say, you know what? It may have sucked how it happened, but even if you could give me an answer, an understanding, it's still not going to change what happened. It's still not going to undo those pains and that feeling that you had. Excuse me. And more than likely, they really don't have an answer. And the best thing you can do is be real with your situation and look at everything. Don't just dwell on the parts that where they hurt, you know, so bad, and how much you love them, and what y'all plans were, and all that stuff in life, and what y'all were gonna supposed to be, and what you intended for. But be honest with it and say, yeah, we had some great times, but we also had some rough times. It was hard for me to communicate. It was hard for me to be myself. It was hard for him to be himself. I love God, and I had a real passion after God, and he struggled with my relationship with Christ. He struggled with his relationship. I had to start being honest and say, you know what? Now we have an opportunity to have a fresh start, right? Do I think that God could have fixed it and God could have, we should have honored the covenant? I do, yes. However, that didn't happen, and I believe that now that God can also give you an opportunity to get it right. Me and my boyfriend now, we're taking it super slow, and we're learning everything we possibly can learn about one another. Our likes, our dislikes, our loves, our strengths, our weaknesses, his pet peeves, my pet peeves, how we handle conflict, how we handle joy, how we handle good time, how we handle no, how do we handle yeses, how do we handle promotion, how do we handle retirement. Like, we are going through everything, combing it with a fine-tuned comb, and we're learning about each other. And I am so grateful because I've never done that. I've never ever done that. I've never had an opportunity to or I never took the opportunity to really get to know somebody geared towards a relationship. I always kind of got into a relationship because we were friends first, so I knew this part of them, but I didn't know how we would interact together in a relationship, and I never put it to the test. But this time I am. And we're asking those hard questions, and we're taking notes, the good and the bad, and we're honest with each other. We're not giving each other like this what we want to hear. We're giving each other the truth. Sometimes the truth is, I just don't like that, and I ain't got no reason for it, and it might be silly, you know what I'm saying, but it's the truth. And then we're making decisions. Can I live with it or can I not? Some things we still is just, that the jury's out on. We put it on the shelf and we come back to it and we deal with it later. And I'm grateful for that. So if anything, I thank God for the opportunity that I have right now in my healing process. And I'm able to look over and say, there are times I'm getting angry and I'm feeling some kind of way, or, but I'm still healing, and I'm able to continue to press and move forward. And it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You're not a horrible person. You're not you're not still I'm not still like super in love and all this stuff. I mean, I love him because I actually really did. But I have no desire of reconciliation. Like, I'm not like, and even though I joke around and say, when we get hit by a comment, okay, serious, but I really want him to be a better man. I really want him to become a man of God that I believed that he was and he could be. I saw some great potential in him, and I want that. Same for the girl. She's got, I think she has an anointing, but I think she's broken, and I think that she has some identity issues that she has to have them met in ways that are just unhealthy for her, and to get herself in these kind of situations. And so I pray for them. And I don't like them. And I probably, when I see them in the street, if the jury's still out, if I see her. So the Lord is keeping me from her, because I don't know. Y'all pray for your girl. But him, yeah, it's getting better. So there's hope. So with that being said, I'm about to go get my empanada for me and my baby, so we can have us a good evening. But I wanted to just come on and just speak to the things that I've learned, just in my critical thinking and dissection of what I've been through these last couple weeks, and this change. And I was really bummed out, because I was like, dang, I thought I was good. Why am I getting angry again? Like, why I have these moments of sadness and like rage? I'm like, I'm ready to fight these jokers. And it's just a part of your healing, and it's okay. It's gonna come. I'm gonna speak to it. And that's why I face it head on. And when I teach other people and I encourage other people, it helps me. And I believe that that's one of the things that God is calling me to. So with that being said, your girl, I love you, right? I got you 180 proof. But more importantly, God loves you. So remember that. Stay encouraged and be blessed. Until next time. Peace.